is a major project that has been undertaken by the European Investment Bank, the EBRD and the World Bank a couple of years ago, and what we did was basically to launch a survey and interview more than 6,000 firms in 8 countries of the region, and we were asking the firm what is driving their growth opportunities and what is also an impediment to their growth opportunities. And after we have done the survey, we teamed up together the 3 institutions and we developed a report, and the report is really trying to have a common understanding of what is behind the private sector development in the region. And that's really the value of the report. I think it's very useful for the EIB to try to think at what the EIB is doing and look it in the context of what are the drivers and constraints of private sector development in the region as they come out from this report. And the interesting conclusions that we have is we start from looking at the private sector, the formal private sector actually, which is a small part of the economy but is a very valuable part of the economy. And what we find out is that the basic economic theory holds in this sector. So like the more productive firms grow faster, the more productive firms are also those that have access to finance, those better managed, have more innovation capacity, etc. So we have a sector that is small but that can be a seed for faster growth in the region and what is even more important, for more inclusive growth. So starting from this first message, we then look at some impediments to business development, and one is access to finance. On that point we find a very interesting message. We have an high share of firms that don't ask for a credit, they disconnect from the financial sector because they think they have enough resources for what they need. But by doing so, these firms are losing growth opportunities. So what we do in this context is really looking at what can be done to reconnect these firms with the financial sector, knowing that if by being disconnected they lose growth opportunities, we may want to have them reconnected to the financial sector. And then we also look at the job market, we also look at how to have a more inclusive job market, and particularly looking at female and young people. We all know that the Arab upspring was based on a demand for a more inclusive growth, so reconnecting these people to the job market is also quite important for the success of the region. And what we find in that sense is that the education system is very important, and the training of firms training of employees is important and could be incentivized, and also the education system should be better targeted in order to really provide the skills that are then needed in the job market. So we have a very strong expertise in SME access to finance, and we are doing a lot in terms of supporting firms to reconnect to the financial sector. And particularly some instruments that we are now developing, like guarantee schemes or something related also to microfinance, etc., help creating a culture in which small firms can approach the banks, and the banks consider these firms for new lending. So something like that is one example. Other example of what the EIB does that is very much compatible with the results of the studies related to what we are doing for education system, general entrepreneurship, etc. And I think there is a lot of to learn from the EIB, but I think what we also liked very much in the study that there is a lot that the EIB is doing in the right way, really addressing the market gaps and the market needs. Another result that we have in the survey is that electricity is a big impediment to economic growth. The EIB has been behind all the major energy generating initiatives, both in traditional energy sector and more in innovative renewable energies, etc. We have been behind most of the projects that we have seen in this period. We have been behind a lot of infrastructure initiatives, etc. And most importantly, we are also very active in the private sector, in innovation, in education, in entrepreneurship development and access to finance, as I was just mentioning before. So I think the EIB is really well placed to contribute to local market development as we have in our objective, and as such also to offer an alternative for a more inclusive growth path in the region.